have Mille Petrozza of Kreator on the phone, guitar player and singer extraordinaire. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
And was it always your intention to sing and play guitar at the same time?
It wasn't. When we started the band, I would share vocals with my drummer, and we would always have in the back of our mind that we might find a singer, but we never did. So my drummer was fed up with playing and singing at the same time, so I took over.
And how long did it take you to become comfortable singing and playing?
I was learning by doing, really. I mean, I jumped into the cold water, so to speak. I went on tour, and I learned, and I got better as a guitar player and as a singer at the same time. And it took me a little bit, like maybe 1 or 2 tours, but then I felt comfortable.
Have you taken lessons since starting Kreator, and do you still take lessons?
I should maybe, but I don't. I didn't. I did it for a while. For half a year, I had lessons for acoustic guitar, but then I figured it's not that I was bored, but I thought, I wanted to start a metal band, so I need to find electric guitar and an amp and a distortion pedal, and I learned like 3 chords and went for it.
What was the first song or the first riff that you learned, metal-wise?
Let me think. It must have been Smoke on the Water, of course. Anyone learns that first. I mean, Smoke on the Water by Deep Purple.
That makes sense. It's either that or Iron Man.
Yeah, that too. That was probably the second riff that I learned.
Yeah, I think Smoke on the Water is mandatory.
Yeah.
For everyone from that era. Now, album number 15th is out right now, and you're rapidly approaching the 40 year of your career. Is that correct?
Yeah, if you count from the first album, it's going to be in 2025. Yeah.
And congratulations on the new record. Some are saying it's the best Kreator yet. Would you agree?
I let the fans decide. I think it's a strong album. To me, it means something. I put a lot of heart and soul into this, and it's hard for me to judge. I think it definitely has some of the most brutal songs we've ever written. It has some songs that I really, really like. So let's see how things. I'm totally honored that people say that it's one of our best albums because it's our 15th album. Usually, a lot of the bands, they do their best work when they were very young, and it's so cool to know that people say that about our music, even though we're so have been around for so long and we've been doing this for many years, and they still say that this is our first best album. That's mind-blowing, really.
And it's 10 tracks of not completely pure thrash, like you said. It's got it's a little bit eclectic.
Absolutely.
I don't know if that's the right word.
Yeah, you could describe it like that. I think since we're old school, we still think in terms of albums. To me, like, an album is a collection of songs that kind of fit and make you feel something and puts you on a musical journey. And in order to have like an album that's not like full speed throughout the whole album, we have songs that are more mid-tempo, songs that are more experimental, so if you want to call it that, and some songs are very melodic, some songs are very fast, and so it's a full treatment. It's all kind of elements that Kreator's known for.
Has there been any thought to not doing a full-length album and just sticking to singles for a cycle?
Some bands do that. We don't. I don't think we'll ever do that. We love doing albums. I think to me it's like it's the full, like the format of the art of doing an album is something that I've always done, and something that you can be really look forward to and be proud of once you have finished it. And I think doing a single, we did that before the pandemic. We put out a standalone single called 666, A World Divided, and that was a one-off thing to kick off the tour that we're going to play now, since the pandemic kind of postponed it, with Lamb of God, the State of Unrest tour. Which is, I think, was like putting out a standalone single was an interesting concept, because we kind of treated the song differently than it would when it would have been on an album. So we might put out some more standalone things, which doesn't mean that we never record a full album again. I mean, we definitely will continue doing this.
And this is the first record using Eliran Kantor as an artist. Did I pronounce his name?
Eliran.
And he's based out of Germany as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, he lives in Berlin. So he lives in the same city as I do. We would meet up. We did meet up for a coffee, and I told him what I wanted to do with this new album, and I wanted it to be epic, but at the same time, very menacing and horror. So he's very aware of history, of the visual history of Kreator. So he knows all the old and classic artworks, and I think he came up with a very, very strong artwork. It's one of my favorite Kreator artworks to date.
Was there a particular cover that he'd done in the past that led you to contemplate working with him?
Yes, and that would be the Halloween of the new Halloween album. I think it's the self-titled album, the latest Halloween album. That's when I was really convinced. I've known his work for a long time, but I thought that best work was on that album by Halloween, the German band.
Which you just recently played with, or at least you were on the same festival in France. Is that right?
Yeah, but everybody has been on that festival. I think they had 450 bands.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, you were there.
Yeah, I was there for both weekends.
All right.
It was.
So okay, good. It was. Yeah. I really like the festival. It's a heavy metal paradise, isn't it? It's like every metalhead dream come true. The day we played, it was Ministry, Megadeth, 9 Inch Nails. I mean, all these huge names, and everybody played like great shows, and it was just heaven.
Yeah, I agree. Because it's a good mixture of there's some, like on some nights there'll be Five Finger Death Punch, and then there'll also be Marduk, and there will be some thrash metal. I think I saw Zentrix, some old band from the 80s, and it's a good mixture of all the good genres.
Yeah, and it's like the culture of heavy metal is being celebrated in a very nice way there. I think what they do at Hellfest is very unique. They really they take it very serious, and they give you the best lineup and the best bands, and the atmosphere and the setting, all the artworks, the Lemmy statue and the Lemmy monument. It's amazing, man. I mean, if you think about it, it's like that's the way to present metal, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. And then all the stages, even the side stages are all massive, with massive lights and massive stages, massive sound and video.
Yes,
everybody gets. It appears to everybody gets the same treatment, from the little bands to Ministry. It's a wonderful thing.
Absolutely, totally agree with you.
And this is your fourth album for Nuclear Blast?
Is it? Is it not the third? It's the third.
This is the third. Okay, cool. It looks like a positive relationship with those guys. They know what they're doing.
Absolutely, they're all metalheads, and they're old school, and they know what they're doing. Absolutely, they're fans.
Talk a little bit about your new bassist. Can you please pronounce his name for us?
Frédéric Leclercq.
And I know him as a guy with a good sense of humor. It's probably necessary to be in a band like Dragon Force for so long. I would imagine. And I mean that. I mean that respectfully, because I love Dragon Force.
Same here. I think
they do like blast beats in the measures in the 16 measure. You know, it's like
absolutely. I mean, that's one of his strong characteristics. I mean, like to me, that kind of like the sense of humor that Fred has is very much the same sense of humor that we have in the band. We had in the band before he joined. A very black, very dark humor, very very precise and very intelligent. So he's the perfect addition to Kreator. I mean, it's just amazing to have him in the band.
Yeah, you're very and he's a great bass player as well too.
Oh, that of course. I mean, he's definitely the best bass player I've ever worked with.
And I imagine it's probably nice for him to have a little more challenging material to work with.
Yeah, he's definitely into what we do, and he's been a fan and friend of the band for many years. And he's into heavy stuff. He's into death metal, black metal. He's into all kinds of metal, really.
Do you share the same love of all genres?
Yes. Absolutely. Fred is a encyclopedia of metal. I mean, he knows every band, he knows every song. He can play every Iron Maiden song from the get-go. I mean, he's really like you name one song and he's singing it to you. He's very precise with the lyrics, and he knows how to play it, and it's like that with a lot of bands. And so yeah, he's a nerd. Absolutely.
And he's a pick player.
He's a pick player, yeah, which I think adds to the sound. I love that. I mean, to me, this kind of music needs bass players that play with a pick. But then again, I could be wrong. I mean, there's other bass players that are great that play with the fingers, but I think to me, for my taste, for Kreator, it fits really 100% with him playing with a pick. Absolutely.
And you're currently doing 2 songs from the new album live. Is that right?
Yeah, for the festivals. Yeah.
And what would most likely be the next new song or new songs added to the set?
There'll be the 2 other singles might be added to the set, and 1 more song for headlining shows. 5 to 6, we'll see. I mean, like I said, it's hard to pick because we all like a lot of the songs on the record, and there's so many songs that we would love to play live. But then again, we also need to play the classic songs. So I mean, it's getting harder and harder to pick the right songs and then pick the right amount of songs for a live set. When you have so many songs that people would love to hear when they come see you.
What is Kreator's smoke on the water? Is it Pleasure to Kill?
Probably Flag of Hate.
Flag of Hate. Is that the one? The man.
Pleasure to Kill. Maybe Pleasure to Kill.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So Flag of Hate, you would say probably the one song that you must play.
Oh, maybe Pleasure to Kill. I would say Pleasure to Kill. We could go without Flag of Hate, but we can't go without Pleasure to Kill.
Yeah, I've seen no problem in that. Though I do like bands that not everybody has seen you a million times. So for those like myself who have seen you many times, it would be nice for me to see you play something you haven't played in a while. But there are so many people that have come to see you for the first time. They need to hear Pleasure to Kill. They need to hear Flag of Hate, right?
I know. It's a little bit of a bummer if you think about it. I mean, like I said, I mean, you are one of the people that have seen us a lot of times, but and we're getting the vibe, we're getting we see the problem also. We would love, I mean, especially Fred, he always comes up with, let's play this song and let's play that song. Let's play this obscure song that nobody knows about, but I'm a big fan of, And it's like, yeah, I would love to do that, but then we only have like 90 minutes, and we wanna play as many songs as possible and as many classic songs as possible. But it's a little bit, it's getting more and more tricky to come up with the right set list.
Have all the recorded Kreator songs been performed live?
No. Absolutely not. Maybe 30% or something, or 40% maybe.
No, I recognize how difficult that is with the classics that you must play.
Yeah, not only that. I mean, if you look at it, I mean, thrash metal to me shouldn't a thrash metal concert shouldn't be. We're not like, if I see some other bands like, say, I don't know, some bands like, I just read that Guns N' Roses do shows like that last 3.5 hours. But they have like ballads, they have like, they do whatever, they have like whatever songs they do. But with this intensity, like the speed and the heaviness, I don't think you should play more than 2 hours would be something that I would compromise on. But 1.5 hour, I think it's the perfect time for a thrash metal concert.
Yeah, I would agree that it can be too much of a good thing, particularly with a kind of music where it's just like a sledgehammer.
Absolutely. So, I mean, we could play 2 hours, or we could even play 2.5 hours, but yeah, it would be a bigger challenge, and I'd rather put like 1.5 hours of total mayhem, and
yeah.
And, you know what I mean?
Yeah, short and sweet, other than long and overbearing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, cool. It looks like we're almost out. I think we're out of time. I know you have a day to get back to. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us. We look forward to seeing you when you come to the States. I have one question about, so we're based out of Sacramento. MetalgodZradiO is based out of Sacramento. And it looks like the first time you came to Sacramento was 1998 with D.R.I. and Holy Terror. Was that an odd pairing for you?
That was a great pairing for us. I mean, playing with a legendary band like D.R.I. that come more from the hardcore scene, we thought it was a challenge to win their fans over, but we did every night, and that was amazing. And I have only good memories from that tour.
Well, wonderful. Well, Mille, like I said, thanks again for talking to us. We'll let you go, and we'll look forward to seeing you soon.
I will come to the States in October, and I'll see you then.
You will. Have a great day.
Take care.